Somehow, can you guys hear me? Yeah, I was gonna press start, and then somehow it says like your live stream got interrupted, and it's like what? But I was lucky enough to be able to resume where it left off. Oh, it's streaming now. Good, good, good. Hi, Toby. You guys. Well, sorry for the delay. Delayed by like 30 minutes. Today's live streaming might be a little bit short one. Hi, I'm just gonna wait until people join in. Remwill, hi. I feel like I'm seeing like new people every time. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. So today was like a hell of a day. It was like a long day. I'm gonna talk about it in a little while, but so I got myself a little coffee. And then type peace. Got little waffle. I haven't had any food after lunch, so my lunch was like around noon. This barely happens though. I have to keep myself well fed, so I need food and then sleep. Otherwise I can't operate right. Add some whiskey to calm the nerves. That's good. But like if I have whiskey or any sort of alcohol, I can drink a little bit, not a lot, but I would pass out right after. Yay, people started joining, yay. Food and sleep. Yeah, food and sleep. Oh, Toby, that's your first time? Yay! Good that you know your knees. Yep, yep. How many hours do you sleep? I think I had a conversation about the sleeping hours before. Oh, that was Patreon. Okay, that was Patreon people. Yeah. Hello, Tall. Too lazy. Anyway, I don't know. I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. But yeah, how do any of you guys live in Japan? Last live stream, I realized that many of you live in Japan. Do any of you live in Japan? Just me for now? Oh, by the way, if you hear any weird noises or talking, that's my brother playing a video game with his friends. So he might scream sometimes, but just so you know. And then my cat's might meow. But right now it's very quiet. I'm the only one who's talking. Sorry, today, as I said, it was like a really... tsurashi. Tsurashi. Is it tsurashi or turashi? Turashi. East Coast USA here. I wish I did. Seattle. Okay, okay. So none of you have oh, Tulashi, you were in Japan. Oh, where in Japan? Yeah, the earthquake. Yeah, I want to talk about earthquake. Yeah. That's why I was like, do you live in Belgium? Okay. Did any of you, well, right now, Tulashi is the only person who lives in Japan, but went through earthquake, tsunami in Hawaii. Really? You were in Hawaii? I came back from Hawaii, yeah, around that time. I came back, that was actually, when? That was before. Was it before? Yeah, that was before. So that was after the March 11 earthquake was when I was back from Hawaii, and I was in the senior year of high school, and I actually had a host sister from Austria, and she was living with me and my family for the 2 months, 3 months in around that time, and then hello, genki desu. And oh, Erin, you live in London. あ、香川県。あ、神奈川県。Okay. あ、そうか。Oh, 香川県. That means you experienced the earthquake a couple days ago. Everything okay? See, that's my brother. Yeah. Hi, Jeff. But where was I? Yeah. So yeah, I was back from the Hawaii, as I said, and then it was around when was it? What time was it? I turned on the TV for no reason. Oh shoot! Hold on, give me 1 second. I forgot to. I'm glad that I noticed that. I forgot to turn on the do not disturb button. So if somebody calls and then everything's gonna be ruined. So my hair is messy. Sorry, it was a busy day. Yeah, it's gonna it's hard to explain my day today. But basically, I had to drop off my dog. Everything is like something that I have been mentioning in Patreon. But basically, my dog is aging quite a bit, and so she's suffering from kidney failure, and so we had to take her into the vet every day, almost all day from the morning till the night, and she can come back home during the nighttime, but basically she's getting IV throughout the day. And what it does is that it just like kind of brings down some sort of like chemicals in the body or something. Yeah, like I don't know if you guys, how much you guys knows about. And I don't really know about the medical thing, but like kidneys is one of the organs that won't fix it with any sort of treatments. Yeah. So basically you can delay the symptoms like procedure. Yeah. To just, basically to basically kind of like drag the I don't know how to express it, but basically trying to drag uh, as far as possible until the day comes. You know what I mean? And if it's like a healthy human, then probably you can go through a kidney transplant and stuff like that. But it's a dog, and she's like 15 years old. She's pretty old, so yeah. For a dog, kidney failure is a little rare. It's more common among cats. But once dogs suffer from kidney failure, and then they don't really have the tolerance, so it gets bad very quickly. But well, she has been through the how many almost 2 weeks of the IV and hospitalization, and then we can't really give her that sort of IV for more than 2 weeks. So from tomorrow, she's gonna be staying with us. It's a struggle because like she can't talk, obviously, right? And for her, she has to be away from the family, and then she has to be in the hospital in a little cage for most of the day. And then according to the vet, we don't know, like she could die tomorrow. It's that bad. So if like it's little tough decision to make, because you never know, like if keeping her in the hospital in the hopes of dragging her life for the next like maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, and when she could spend the next couple of days, with us in the home, with the family, because she doesn't understand what's going on. So it's a little tough choice, but she seems to be the situation, like her condition is getting a little bit better and better. It's not gonna fix, it's not gonna be treated, but still it gets better. And then she basically she can't eat by herself, so we have to kind of like forcefully feed her. um, but yeah, but she can like walk around, and then she wags her tail when I come back. And so yeah, hopefully we like hope for the best. uh yeah, so anyway, let's go back to, yeah, that's why like I had to even I'm like, what's going on? But that's my brother, playing like a shooting game or something. But I was gonna say, anyway, um so from there I directly went to the my school, and then I had two trial students. And so yeah, I was gonna say. And then I had like a little bit of like meetings and whatnot, and then I had classes. I had to teach English there, and then I had another meeting, and then I had I wasn't expected, but like I had one of the mothers come in to thank me for the support, because the student passed a high school examination, and actually had three students. One student only took a eikaiwa lesson with me, but two others took a cram school classes with me. So basically, I supported like math, and then English, and then Japanese, and then science, and then social studies, and all those main subjects. And so the mother came in and then thanked me, and actually both of the mothers came in before and after the last class. And so we were like chit chatting, and then saying like, "Yay!" So everyone passed. Yes, right? So for one student, it was like kind of a big, how can I say? It was a big challenge, because she was aiming for a different school, and then she changed her mind in the last minute, and she wanted to go for the little bit like more difficult, like harder and smarter school. And so it was like a big challenge. We only had 2 months to go, and so we yeah, it was a scariest moment of my life, to be honest. Uh but yeah, everything turned out okay. So we had a big laugh, and then I wish we could like celebrate and anything, but we couldn't because of the COVID. And then before I knew it, I was like, oh, I have to get back to home, and then I have to live stream, but like I don't have time. And I came back, and of course my dog is home, and so I had to feed her before I start live streaming, because it will be too late after this live streaming is over. So yeah, that's the whole reason why I had to push back a little bit. But I'm glad like everyone joined. And anyway, so let's let's talk about the main topic here. Oh, thanks for the congratulations. I'm exhausted just hearing about what's going on here. Juggling, juggle all this. It's very rare. It's very rare that I'm this busy though. But yeah, anyway, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, let's go back to earthquake. So, except for one person, Slashy, um, has anyone experienced the earthquake happened on Wednesday? Hi, Sergey. Hey, you're not late. I was late, so you're good. So I guess I don't know how many of you guys know how big Japan is, but basically the earthquake that happened 3 days ago didn't affect here at all. Nothing. I was actually watching the late night news that time, and then even if it was like not so big, like semi big, yeah, that was 7.3. It's pretty big. Uh, and the broadcaster saying that, like, there has been the earthquake warning has been issued, and so please stay safe, blah blah blah. And they immediately share the location, and I was like, oh, that's bad, right? It's like basically exact the same spot from 11 years ago. I'm like, oh, right? And then at that time it was expected as like a magnitude like 6 or something, and so that could happen in Japan. And then Japanese buildings are very, very strong. And so as long as we don't, like, there is no huge tsunami happening, should be fine. And so we all thought like it was like a kind of exaggeration that like TV started like, talking about like, please protect yourself, like please, you know, like, I don't know, like go under the like table or something like that, and then protect your head and blah 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think nothing's gonna happen. It was like a little shake, but it wasn't. It was actually bigger than they expected. And yeah, so seems like there were actually two different earthquakes in a row. So according to the people who experienced the earthquake in Fukushima, they thought it was like a one long earthquake, but it was actually two. And then the first one was actually smaller, and then the second one was the bigger one. And but it was still smaller than the 11 one in 11 years ago. Uh, but I think it was like 2 days ago, like 2 days ago, yesterday, they also had a semi big aftershock as well. So yeah, it's not good. Nothing has happened with the nuclear power plants. So that should be fine for now. But yeah, that was kind of scary. And yeah, the article. I should talk about. Oh, wait, did it change? It was saying 7.3, but according to this article, it says 7.4 magnitude. Yeah. But still, there are four people. Four people died because of this earthquake, though. There are many buildings collapsed, so that's kind of scary moment, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna read it a little bit. So, 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit eastern Japan late Wednesday night. It was like 11:10, something like that, and then killing at least 4 people and injuring over 100 others and cutting power of 2 million of homes. So if you are living in like Tokyo area, Chiba area, anywhere in Kanto, you might have experienced the short blackouts. Well, if I say short, that's like more than 3 hours. So you might not feel like it's short, but it was actually scheduled blackouts to prevent the massive and then long blackouts. Seems like it. And so, according to the media, it was actually better than the suffering from the long blackouts that covers the wide range of homes and buildings. But still, and it was like, it was nighttime, and it wasn't like freezing cold or like, extremely hot. So they could probably, survive those 3 hours because they'll be from like 11 to like 3 in the morning, right? But if you are living in like Fukushima or those like Tohoku area, probably you couldn't get like a minute of sleep. The tsunami though, there was a tsunami warning right after that, and let's see, where'd it go? So tsunami was like around 1 meter above normal tidal tidal huh level. So yeah, the sea level. So it doesn't seem big, but you know. And then I think Japanese people are already aware of the fact that even if the tsunami is 1 meter, it's strong enough to knock you down. So like, don't go near the coast. And so I haven't heard anyone who died from this tsunami though. It's just like those 4 people who died was because they fell or probably got under something, and then the building collapsed onto them or something like that. Um, and as I said, nothing had happened with the nuclear power plant, so that's safe. And compared to the 2011 Japan earthquake, it was 9.1 magnitude, so that was actually very, very huge. And so it's somewhere around 6.3 times stronger. And energy wise, it was like 500 times more energy than the Wednesday's earthquake. So if you think about that, then that earthquake doesn't seem that bad. But have you seen any videos on Twitter going around? It's like so scary though. Did you feel in Shikoku? No, not at all. You could actually see, I think it was a Yahoo. You can actually see how the shakes are spreading from the epicenter, and I was following that live, and you can see little circle, and then there are like two rings, and then one is the P, and S, like P comes first and then S comes first or something like that, right? And then you can like see the 2 rings like going bigger and a bigger and a bigger and bigger and a bigger. And yeah, like according to that map, it goes, basically covers the entire Japan, but we are far or enough to not experience any of the shakes, so we are fine. We expect to have kind of similar to the great earthquake that happened in 2011 in Kochi area. So if that happened, it's called Nankai Torafu. I don't know if there's any translation to English, but the scientists basically expect that happens in the next decade or 2. We never know. But yeah. But if that happens, it basically brings the same result as the 2011 earthquake, because it's far in the ocean of the Pacific Ocean. And so basically from the estimate the science made, if that Nankai Torafu earthquake happens, then the tsunami would cover most of the coast, Kochi prefecture. Yeah. Should be fine with as long as you're living in Ehime prefecture, because we are facing towards the Seto Naikai inland sea. So it can't come around. Even if tsunami comes around, it won't be a big wave. But is Kochi area preparing ahead of time with lessons learned from 2011? I hope so. I really hope so. But my brother, not the one who's playing the video game, my brother have some friends or acquaintance in Kochi, and according to them, if let's say the earthquake that I'm talking about happened right now, and then they hop onto the car to go towards the mountain, somewhere highland, to escape from tsunami, but most likely tsunami would hit before they reach the highland. So I think depending on where you live in Kochi, but some parts, Kochi is a huge prefecture. Seriously, it's a huge prefecture. So yeah, you kind of have to hope that it won't happen. Is Ehime generally considered to be less at risk from having such intense earthquakes? Yes, earthquakes wise, yeah, we would have, there's a potential of having a big earthquake, the Nankai Torafu, because Kochi and Ehime are next to each other. Tsunami wise, we would, it's less likely for us to experience a big tsunami that affect our lives in Ehime. But as long as you're living in Japan, you will have to suffer from like possibility of earthquake, because how many places? I never took geology. I think did I? No, I don't think so. So I can't give you the exact number, but I think there are like 4 plates underneath the Japan. So yeah, Japan is a very dangerous country. Are normal houses in Japan made in a way that they can resist earthquakes, or that's just big buildings? Basically, there is a law. So exactly when, I'm gonna try to figure out the when. Okay, so there was a huge earthquake that happened in 1995. It's called Hanshi Awaji Daishinsai. That's the earthquake, and it's around the area of Osaka. And at that time, the magnitude was what? The magnitude was, oh, same thing. Magnitude was 7.3, and so it was pretty big. It's basically same size as uh, the one in the on Wednesday. However, the damage was huge back then, because the no buildings or any man-made structures, including highways and whatnot, uh, expected that this big of the earthquake could ever happen, and so nothing survived. And then I think the worst part was it was early in the morning in January, and so it was cold. And then nowadays we have the like heater. We use the AC as a heater as well, and then we have other safer heating devices. However, back then we used the regular heater that produce fire, uh, and so it's not like a fireplace. I don't know how to say in Japanese, in English. I don't think you guys have it, but like it's kind of like a you pour like not like a petrol, but like you pour something in it. I have no idea what that is. Like kind of like a fossil fuel, some sort of fossil fuel. It's not gasoline, and it will explode. But then you basically turn on the heater, and they you can see the fire going on. And so after the earthquake, excuse me, there were so many fires throughout the city, and so that basically caused a lot of casualties and whatnot. So again, I'm gonna go back to answering the question. So after this earthquake, I think after this earthquake, I might be wrong, maybe the other one, I forgot. So basically, a long time ago, there was like a huge earthquake that destroyed everything in the city of Japan. And then Japanese law has been revised that any buildings, including houses, that would be built after that earthquake had to be follow some sort of the structure, yeah, sort of instructions, and how many pillars it has to have, and how many walls have to have, and then the window has to be this size, and all that kind of thing to support through the big earthquake like this. And so that's kind of one reason why, even if the Wednesday's earthquake was the same size as the one in Osaka. How many years ago? 20 somewhat years ago. They have less damage than then. So yeah. And that's one of the reasons, like in Japan, it's not common for normal people to build their own houses. Like in America, my friend's dad was very my friends from Missouri, her family basically built their own house, and I was surprised because in Japan no one does that. It's very dangerous. All right, I'm going up. How's Osaka's for tsunami risk? Not much. As I said, it's facing towards the Seto Naikai. So Hiroshima, if you can imagine the Japanese map in your head, Hiroshima, Okayama, and then Osaka, Kagawa, and Ehime. Maybe Oita and Fukuoka, maybe around there. But Fukuoka is facing to the Japan Sea, so maybe not. So those area is not facing towards the big sea, big ocean. So it has less, even if, I'm not gonna say like there's no possibility, but like even if they had tsunami come in, it's gonna be like 1 meter or 2 meters. It's small. So as long as you don't go to the coast, you're okay. Last time I was asked to have this thing on. Did it work? Like there's the button thingy at the top of the chat, and it says like top chat and then live chat. There you go. It's live chat now. Sorry, I forgot to change that. Yeah, Seto Inland Sea area. Yep. California has similar rules. Yep, I thought so. I have experienced, how big was it? When I was 10, we had a semi-big earthquake here. How big was it? Let's see. Magnitude. Was it? In Japan, we never say magnitude. Like we do say it, but no one know what magnitude is. So we have our own scale, like measurement, called shindo. And so we always talk about shindo. 2001, we had a earthquake in Setouchi Inland Sea, and that was magnitude 6.7. So I was 10 years old, somewhere around there. Yeah, I was actually taking a dance lesson that time, and then the whole building started to shake. Anyway, let's see if Shindo, yep. It's called Shindo, that's right. So if you understand Shindo, then this Wednesday's earthquake was Shindo 6 kyo. So it's close to 7. 6 is 6. How much warning does the emergency warning system give you in Japan when an offshore earthquake is detected? Depending on where you are. So it was kind of interesting because there's one person or a couple of people saying that their phone went off 4 times. And there is the other group of people saying didn't go off. and they start to shake. And so I don't really know why, but according to the expert on the media, it wasn't like it wasn't an error or anything. It just the area that the alarm didn't go off didn't match the criteria or something. Uh, but usually you get one notification. I mean, like one big mother, like big alarm go off. Like I have heard that alarm twice in my life. So it was once was like the earthquake in Kumamoto in Kyushu, and it was middle of the night, and I woke up because then my phone started to go off like crazy. And around here it was like around Shindo 4, and so it wasn't that big. It was like, ooh, it's an earthquake, and done, nothing falls. And but still it went off. And then second time was actually a couple months ago. I was like around midnight too, and it start going off like crazy, like earthquake, 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 like woo 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 woo, right? Like okay, and then actually from the alarm, I was able to get all my pets, all my pets around me, and I was like, I was in the living room, and but we were actually, you know, waiting for that to happen. Like, when is it coming? When is it coming? Is it really coming? Right? So I think you do have enough time to go to the safe place, even if after the alarm goes off. And at that time, it was like also like Shindo 4. So it was like, ooh. And we were expecting that like maybe like more would come and then like, but nothing else. So it was like near Oita prefecture, so I think my brother felt bigger shake than us. There's someone in Saitama who told me that it shook. Then it took 30 seconds before the alarm went off. So it means like it shook before the alarm, right? Yeah, maybe the small ones. Small ones we don't get any alarms. The alarms probably go off when they detect the possible earthquake to be maybe more than Shindo 4. Maybe 5, close to 5. That was for the Wednesday one. But like, yeah, I'm no expert, so I have no idea. Yeah, there's like possibility, cause like, you know, depending on like which phone company you have too, cause like there is like one person saying that they had 2 phones, and one was issued by his or her company, and then one was his or her personal phones, and then their phone didn't go off, and then only the company's phone went off. So maybe like career or anything. Docomo, SoftBank, AU, yeah, maybe, and then or those major ones might be fine, but like if you have like what is it, like cheap ones, Y Mobile or UQ or any other things maybe. The one from Wednesday is shaking 30 seconds, freaking long. Yeah, I think it was like 30 seconds, but like actually not like 1 30-second earthquake, but more like, you know, 2 earthquakes put together, and then like all together it was like 30 seconds. So, and then it was like gradually going bigger and bigger. So that's very scary. Hi Sherry, do a lot of Japanese people belong to volunteer groups that mobilize for natural disasters? What do you mean mobilize for natural disaster? Sorry, I don't want to answer it wrong. You mean like おやすみなさい do you mean like to help others? Yeah, that's what you're gonna say. Volunteer groups. I think so. So there is a something called, not, I don't know if it's like everywhere, but we have some sort of like a rescue group that's formed by a volunteered, usually like fathers. And I don't know if they take turns or only people who are interested in like those volunteer works would do. But those volunteer rescue people would go out to put out fire if there is a fire. So they act like a firefighters. So those people might get together and then help others. But most likely, well, Japan, oh, this might be, I don't know. Okay, if it goes, I'm not ready for this, but okay. So if something happened, natural disaster happened, most likely the first group of people who would go towards the venue and help people out is Japanese military. And I know I shouldn't say that word because people would say like, that's not military, but sorry. Like that the official name is like self-defense something something something, right? But okay, sorry, but I'm just gonna stick with Japanese military. But yeah. So, but they're doing because that's their job, right? So it's not volunteer. Well, maybe 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Oh, Simon, gotta go. Bye. How do you not overwork? I overwork. Period. I do not overwork. I guess like how do you not burn out maybe? I don't know. I might burn out. I try not to. Today was actually a tough day, to be honest, though. So I'm trying to distract myself with this live streaming, actually. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, okay, let me think about it. I don't think I'm overworking. I'm constantly thinking about my business, thinking about my school, particularly, and then maybe a little bit of like YouTube and then pink earrings and other things. But I never thought it was like a work when it's similar to when I was a student. I never felt like study as a study because like learning something new is always exciting, you know? And so I never had to force myself to study. And of course there are times like I would rather read manga or watch TV and or maybe sleep in, but still I never thought, like I never felt stress. Like I have a tiny stress, but like the whole concept of like have to study, like never being have to study, right? I don't know why. I really don't know why, but it's kind of similar to that. So when I'm working, I don't feel like I'm working. I'm doing something that I like to do. And I like to think of many things, what I can possibly do with my life and then with the business. And yeah, so Uh, People who have drive and an ambition are rarely off. Rarely off. Oh, it's always impressive. Okay. Did I miss anybody's questions? I probably a couple of minutes. I know my title is like what to do when earthquake happens in Japan, and I never talked like what to do. I never talked stating the facts, and I like never said what to do. But like yeah, basically if you are in the building, like don't try to go out. Japanese buildings are strong enough to hold one or two shakes, like series of shakes. So just get away from the windows, anything that can fall onto you, and protect your head, and then you should be fine. You might like, maybe your favorite, cup might get broken, but you're safe. Unless you're living like very, very old Japanese house that was built in like, 100 years ago or something like that. And then, well, if you're driving and then just like, pull off the car and then just like, just stay there for a while. And then after shakes is over, like you can, evacuate. Well, I would say it's better to have like evacuation like kit ready, like with the non-perishable food and then water and then battery and things like that. I saw one interesting battery though. It was a little expensive. It was like around like $100, and I didn't buy it, but I just saw a blog or something that it uses a chemical reaction with water and salt. I think was it water and salt? Yeah, and it's got magnesium plates inside, and then it generates electricity for smartphones, and then as like you can use it as a lantern or something. Not so long, maybe like an hour or two, but still, like you can generate electricity for emergency. Okay, so I guess this was a very good topic. I guess people have many experiences about earthquakes, I guess. All right, so maybe I'm gonna pick one more question and I'll be done. I guess not so many questions. What to do with the zombie? What? Actually, many Japanese houses have like a garage door. Like a garage door. Like, comes from the top of the roof, to the top of the roof, top of the garage. And then it goes down. Like a very strong ones, like that made in like a steel or something. Most of the houses have that garage doors for every windows on the first floor for safety reason. So if zombie ever happened in Japan, once you're inside and you can close all that garage doors to protect the windows, then probably you are safe. Yeah, probably. Anyway, okay, last question. How would you communicate in an emergency situation in a foreign country when a natural disaster occurs? You cannot probably do that. You can try your phone, and if you wait long enough, like if the natural disaster was so bad that you have to evacuate to the evacuation sites, and then usually mostly SoftBank, but someone from SoftBank would come to the evacuation area and they would set up the temporary antenna. And with that, you might be able to connect to the signal, and you might be able to make a phone call. Wi-Fi, I'm not sure, but the signal. But if you have the signal, and then if you're willing to pay a little bit of, like, higher rate, you can make a phone call overseas, right? So that might be the possibility. You can also try, but that's depending on the phone carrier. If you have like a cheap ones, and then probably it's less likely to get connected. For within Japan, we would just use the landline. We have a paid phone, so you would have to use that. I don't know if those like public paid phones are can make an international phone call. If they can, then as long as you pay, then you can make a phone call, right? But that's a very good question. Yeah, shutters, but shutter is not really English, isn't it? Is it English? Shutter. I thought that's a Japanese English. All right. So, I guess that's it. I started late, so I was gonna go for like maybe 30-minute live streaming, but it went over 50 minutes, so yeah. But I loved having all the comments coming in, and the questions and all that. Yeah, time actually flew by, so. Okie dokie. Alright, so I'm going to see you guys next week then. Alright, I'm gonna try to. Next week, probably, yeah. I don't think I have busy schedule next week, so I should be fine. I'm trying to live stream from 11 p.m. So, ready. Alright, if you have a good evening too. Well, I don't know what time in your country, but have a good night. Bye. Let me know in a comment, like, if you want me to pick like certain topic for the next stream or anything. I might take a look. All right, good night, bye, 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 bye.